You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
And we're back. What's up, Browns fans? I was so disappointed that I came back from commercial break and I don't even have my headset plugged.
I did the same thing.
So bear with me as I'm fumbling around in the dark for my headset. I can't hear myself through the microphone. Hopefully I don't sound as depressed as what I am.
You do sound depressed.
Well,
you sound great.
I hear we're back. When you do things live and you don't have a production crew with you, I mean, we got PT. What are you doing when not reminding me? You're fired.
Did we get it? Actually, did we get his opinion on Mason?
Do you want to talk about it, brother?
Sure. Hey, Tommy, why don't you unmute your mic and let us know what you think?
I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
Bring him back. He's hired again. He's on a second stint here with us. Let's do this thing,
He
dude.
says things.
It's good,
John Nye, is that you?
Yeah, he's hiding back there.
So I want to address the super chat again. Thank you for the super chats. They're greatly appreciated. Any donation to the show is greatly appreciated. And I guess this is a good time to remind you, one, about the contest. It was going to be a Travis Hunter jersey. Sadly, it's now a Mason Graham jersey or player of choosing. We will change it up to any Dog Pack member who is a current one or becomes a Dog Pack member by the end of this live stream. That's jointhedogs.com.
Quinton Junkins jersey coming up.
Yeah. Another thing with the super chats, if you want to become a YouTube member, it's 99 cents a month. That also helps support the show a ton. And you get to the different Browns emojis and stuff in the chat, that kind of thing. So it gets a little cool thing for you to spice up your chats when we're doing the lives, and it just helps out the show a ton. So that you can become a YouTube member. Again, that's only 99 cents a month. E-Unit, thank you for the super chat. He said, it's a pick by GM that's scared to have his skill in talent evaluation judged. The spreadsheet said we should do this. Do you think that played into it at all? Like, all we've heard is that he can't evaluate wide receivers.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least in the draft, he's traded for a good one.
So far,
or two good ones. But the draft, like Anthony Schwartz, books out on Jamari Thrash.
David
Bell. We hope Cedric Tillman is good.
Donovan Peoples-Jones is the only one who ever did anything.
Yeah.
Man.
And he's not even like in the league anymore.
No.
Michael Woods.
He's a 6th-round pick.
Sure.
Achilles tear guy. No.
You know what I mean? So it's like, do you think that played into it? I hope not.
If we have a GM who's gun shy to pick skill players, we're screwed.
Yes.
Bad.
This league?
Well,
Yes.
it makes sense with the post that you did where we picked the least of any team in the last 5-10
we don't use picks
years.
on skill players.
So I don't know.
It was D tackle, right? Was the highest? Wasn't it?
Yeah, there was another post I made where like the Browns have used the fewest amount of draft picks on skill position players in the last, I forget how many years it was, Kenny, but we are the league lowest.
So, yeah.
And it shows because we have none.
What do you want to do? Bring Amari back now? Tyler Lockett? Those are the two best
Tyler
receivers.
Lockett
signed, bro.
signed.
He signed today.
Tennessee.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he went to
did. I
Tennessee.
totally missed that.
Yeah.
And then you have Nick Chubb. Is he the best running back left? And who's the best tight end that's left? The guy from
Nobody.
New
There's
Orleans.
no tight ends in free agency. So
Yeah, fair enough. So, I mean, I don't know what we're doing here.
no, I
man.
think
Yeah, sure.
Jawan Johnson.
Juwan
the
Johnson.
He
Saints.
signed back with the Saints, didn't he?
Did he?
I do not.
I thought he did.
I'll take a look.
I thought he did, but either way, we need to start drafting some freaking players that are going to be here for the next 10 years that are going
That can
to
catch a ball.
actually score touchdowns. Yes.
So I guess we should address pick 10. The Bears, they took Colston Loveland, tight end, out of Michigan. Are you guys surprised that the first tight end off the board is not Tyler Warren? I felt like he was kind of the guy that, I mean, everybody said he was the
If
guy.
I was going to bet on which one was first, I would have bet Tyler Warren, but
Yes.
I'm not surprised that it was Colston Loveland.
You know, it's really, I just watched a video I watched my draft research a lot this year consisted of watching Todd McShay doing draft research.
That's a good way to do research.
And I just watched a video with him yesterday where he was arguing with, I think the other guy's name is like Mensch or something, about how Colston Loveland is like he has him like right up there with him. And the guy was kind of like pushing back, like, you're out of your mind. What else does Tyler Warren have to do? Blah, blah, blah. So he's going to be tooting his own horn a little bit, I feel like.
I heard Evaluator today. I was listening to a podcast on the way up here, and they were talking about Tyler Warren, and they were talking about how, he does a lot of things well, but he's not a very good blocker. He hugs guys more than he attacks, so like he's more than punching, so he's going to get called for holds.
Especially
he's also
in
a
the
lot
NFL.
older of a prospect. That plays into it sometimes.
The poor blocking then leads you to – you're not surprised that Ben Johnson doesn't take a poor blocking tight end.
Right.
We just talked about how their entire offense is predicated on running the ball.
Sam Laporta, I mean, he's a good tight end, and maybe that was the basis behind his picks.
I just want to say I don't want to just humble brag, but we've officially broken a record for this podcast in terms of viewers at one time during a live. We are at 1,000 on X and
136 on YouTube and 23 on Facebook.
So I'm pretty sure like our record is like a couple hundred. So
we might have got around the 500 mark last year on the live.
To have over 1,000 people watching us, we really appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with us tonight. This is pretty cool for us. Like it sucks that we're doing it and we're just super depressed disappointed about the Browns' first pick. What really sucks is I was as much as I wanted Travis Hunter, I was very high on I was like, man, we fleeced them in that trade back, and now we're going to get Genty and the first rounder next year, and we got 36. I was like, sign me up. I'm going to get to watch Genty run the football for us. We're going to still get all these good players, all this stuff. Yeah. I was even starting to talk myself into be like, well, if we trade back to 10, we can still nab, a quarterback or something, and then we can still, and now all of a sudden we can go pick 3 skill positions in the first 8 picks of the second round. I was like, all these possibilities in my head, and then it all just flatlined.
Go ahead.
That's exactly where I'm at. Like heading into the draft, I was like, this team is lacking talent at a lot of different positions, and I was like, okay. In my head, I watched the film with Travis Hunter, and I go, this is a guy that can, make some plays, maybe be a game changer for us, on offense. And now, we're at this point where I'm like, okay, so we didn't take Travis Hunter, but we got some picks. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we didn't take Genty, so then we take a defensive tackle. What? I'm very confused.
We got the number 2 pick because we were so bad on offense last year.
Yes.
And instead of using the number 2 pick to help the offense, we instead trade back.
Was I doing? Was it
defensive
Robert Cleary's
tackle?
Here.
Oh, is he?
Our good friend.
We're not expecting disappointment. Okay, I got a couple comments I need to address here.
Go for it.
Okay, so first one, E-Unit says, D-tackle at 5 is just wow. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, but yikes. Guess we should start giving the kid support. Hope he's staying off social media. Again, I'm not
please don't read the comments,
I'm
buddy.
not as anti-Mason Graham as I just anti-defensive tackle at 5 when we scored 14 points a game.
Yeah, it's anti what the regime has been saying. Like they said, we need to revert back to the Stefanski type offense. If you have the best running back on the board and you take a defensive tackle, it just goes against what they've been saying. So, I mean, again, it's surprise and shock that they picked a defensive tackle. I mean, it'll probably work out, and we don't mean the hate on
I'm hating on the position he plays and where we drafted him. I'm not hating on him, and I hope I'm dead wrong, and he's awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
And he becomes Aaron Donald. But, man, it's a letdown. Second comment I want to address here. GCB, you said, how do I join the dog pack? I listen to your pods every week. Need to hop in with you guys. We'd love to have you. It's jointhedogs.com. That's how it's a Patreon. You just sign up. When you sign up, we'll message you with how to link your Patreon to the Discord. I'll be honest, I haven't actually got into the Patreon app in a long time because everybody pretty much just jumps into the Discord, I feel like, and that's where all the interaction happens. So jointhedogs.com, become the dog pack member, and then you'll get that link to join the Discord, and then you can interact with everybody. And we appreciate you reaching out. Was I not expecting disappointment? We have some rules at work, and we expect disappointment, so we aren't ever disappointed. And unfortunately, I broke that rule. And now I'm paying
rule number 1 of being a Browns fan.
And now I'm paying the price for it, and that's on me. That's another rule at work. That's on me. Browns aren't a football team. They're a test from God, like the story of Joe, but God never restores his fortune.
I love that comment, bro.
Dude, that is like my favorite comment. Yeah.
I kind of want to get it like put on a plaque
Yes,
or like
in my man
framed
cave.
and
Yeah.
put it up.
Yeah,
I might put that on a T-shirt and put it in the
I
store.
love that. I would buy it. I'd wear it. Very
By the way, for
honorably.
everybody out there, we do have a merch store. We never talk about it, but it's thedogspodcast.com/shop. So,
Dude, I got 5 shirts I can wear. I can go full dogs podcast
Yeah.
all
When
week.
I was out in Vegas with Kenny, and it was a different dogs. He's got more dogs podcast merch than I do.
Yeah.
In my defense, the store didn't sell tents, which is up until recently what
yeah,
size
you've
I
been
wore.
changing sizes, so
Yes.
it's all good.
But I do want to shout out Lee in the Honolulu
Shelko from
Brown.
Honolulu, yeah.
Yes.
He gave me the shirt a couple of years ago, and I couldn't wear it, and now I wear it all the time. Kenny just gave me a new shirt to be rocking, so I'm excited. So we appreciate all the Browns backers clubs that give us shirts.
Yeah.
So
Iron Eagle, you see his comment?
where's he at?
4 years now.
Disappointment from giving up all our first for Watson just to be disappointed when we do make a pick.
Ugh.
I feel
That's
it.
our first round pick since 2021,
Yeah.
which was also a defensive player.
And then that draft we took JOK in the second. When was the last time we
What
drafted?
if we take a defensive player 33? What are you
What
going
if
to
we
do?
trade up?
What are you going to
What
do?
if we trade up to 20 or 20, like ahead of Pittsburgh, and we're like, this is it. We're going to take a quarterback.
30?
And then they take
33 and 36. You would
Malachi Starks.
No,
Yeah.
you would have Xavier Watts available, and you need a free safety. You know, I don't want to put that in the universe.
You did.
Yeah,
Just-
Kenny,
sorry,
we're going to
man.
need you to say,
Yeah.
hold on. Some of the stuff
Just
you're putting out there was great.
remember, I put out Genty and we didn't do
Yes,
it. So
yes,
maybe I'll
okay,
put that as the
that's
same vibe.
Yeah, you got
know
Jimmy's
that?
here. I'm going to need you to get him on the line right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that was legitimately their plan?
No.
I don't think they really had much of a plan. I think it was just we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Let
Like, do you think they went into this draft going, we need to get Mason Graham?
No matter what.
No matter like do you think they reached into their pocket and pulled out their Post-it note and it said Mason Graham no matter what? And
Not
it
a
was
chance.
like we think we can do this and
If
still
I'm
get
Kevin
him.
Stefanski, no freaking way. It was Genty no matter what. I'm telling you, man.
I just
or
don't
Hunter. Sorry.
If you're Kevin, I just don't understand how like if I'm Kevin, I'm fighting that pick tooth and nail.
We're looking at each other and I'm going,
I'm like, hey, I'm an offensive head coach.
My offense sucks.
My offense has no players.
yeah.
I am now calling plays again.
That move might get Kevin fired.
We are revamping. We just hired an all new offensive coordinator and offensive staff. What are we doing?
Dude,
You know what I mean? Like he's out here like in the trenches taking bullets, fighting for his life, and we're just picking defensive players.
I can tell you right now that regardless, I mean, we got to really turn this thing around, but can you imagine what home opener is going to be like? Man.
It'll be okay because
You think
everybody loves Flacco. That's why I'm saying, like, I know you're about Kenny Pickett starting, but I think that there's going to have to be a switch mid-season to Kenny. I think they have to start with Joe. Otherwise, I'm telling you, every bad throw Kenny makes, it's just going to be hell raining down for Joe.
I think the rosy glasses on Joe will go away.
Well, and that's fine. Let him go away naturally. But I'm just saying, if you want to give Kenny Pickett a chance, the fan base will not. They will reject him if you put him out there in front of Joe. Is my feeling.
Gage and another person in the chat saying reports saying that they've been working on this deal for 2 weeks. I fucking hate it here.
Which deal are we talking about? The trade?
The trade, and then the Mason.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Well,
I don't
Andrew
understand
Berry
this.
did just do his press conference thing or whatever. So I don't know what he said. I didn't watch it, obviously.
Gage Tucker, somebody said in one of the group chats that he mentioned that it's potential they could trade back into the first.
Which is
I
what's
think
going
they will.
They're
I
going to
think they will.
sucker us into staying here till 11.
And then they're not
And they're going to trade to 32.
Yeah, Justin's going to have to leave straight from here to get to work in the morning.
Correct. For sure.
And they're going to be like, oh, there's just nothing there to entice us to make the move.
You know what the worst part is this is going to be in my next, I would say, 72 hours. What the fuck are the Browns doing?
Yeah.
Just every person I talk to. What are we doing? We doing?
Dude,
this-
we've been saying that since training camp last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? You know, and you know what everybody's going to come back with? We're tanking for Arch Manning. That's what they're going to come back with.
And who knows? Maybe
guy-
they are.
that
Maybe
guy-
they're that dumb that they think for
That
sure.
guy
this
ain't coming
guy's-
out, man.
Yep.
And they're tanking for what is it here? 61-90 for 939 yards.
You know what's funny is I
9
saw
touchdowns so far.
somebody post the list of the quarterbacks that they're projecting to come out next year, and they're saying there's a loaded quarterback class, and it was Arch Manning, Drew Aller, and then another list of like 6 guys. And I'm like, I watched Drew Aller last
Cowboys
year.
took a guard.
Yeah, they're beefing up. I'm telling you, they're trying to fix that run game.
I'm just gonna put it like right here,
so you can see us.
Sorry. Are we surprised they didn't go skill position? I feel like
They've been trying to. But who are you going to take at this point, though?
I guess maybe that's what we need to do. Let's pull up the big board. Let's pull up the big board and see. I got PFF's big board pulled up, and who they have is the next best available players, and it's almost exclusively defensive players right now.
We could have waited.
It's Walter Nolan, Malachi Starks, Mike Green. How do you say his name? Jahdae Barron. And then the next offensive guy is Tyler Warren, tight end. And then Campbell, the linebacker out of Alabama. Will Johnson, cornerback out of Michigan. The next offensive player is Luther Burden, wide receiver. And then edge rusher Donovan Ezeriku.
It's good enough for me.
That was my best attempt. And then tackle Josh Simmons. And then our guy, Emeka Egbuka. There's not, at least in terms of like first round grades, not a lot of offense out there right now.
Okay, so we don't trade back in the first. We stick at 33, and our first pick tomorrow night is an offensive tackle. How we feeling? We're beefing up the trenches.
I'm salty,
and that could very well be
salty.
Yeah, that very well could be though, because I mean that's what he likes to pick with high picks because they're discounted value picks. You know, those are the guys that get paid: defensive tackles, offensive tackles, corners, and running back. Sorry, I meant
it's not even really defensive tackles. It's the edge rushers. You mean that get paid, right?
Yes. Yeah. Good. Well, good D tackles get paid. We saw some get paid.
I hope he's good.
So Miami's on the clock now. Team needs tackle, guard, center, defensive interior, and cornerback. Do you think what's his face getting traded, or did he decide to stay, or Tyreek Hill?
I have no idea what's going on with him.
I feel like it changes.
He's all over the place. Yeah.
What do we think he's got left in the tank? Was last year just an injury thing, or do you think he's on the decline?
Once the injuries start piling up, it's not good for receivers. Look at Stephon Diggs. I can't believe he got paid.
He does look good working out, and he's playing well.
I'm sorry, I was reading stuff.
Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
he said once the injuries start mounting up, it's not good for receivers. And he said, look at Stephon Diggs. He can't believe he got paid. And I said, well, he looks good, and he's playing well.
Who is that? Oh, Devontae?
He's still not listening.
I'm sorry.
Josh
I was reading. Now I'm reading the chat. I'm not.
Stephon Diggs.
You did that exclusively for him.
Nico Harrison or Andrew Berry, who gets ran out of town first? All this hype to do. It's Nico Harrison.
Yeah, Nico.
I don't want to.
We didn't even get the generational guy on our team first before he was traded out. So
we just didn't take him at all.
Yeah, we just didn't take him. So can't trade him.
I'm not trying to go off on too much of a tangent that doesn't have anything to do with the draft or football tonight. But that is
a big fuck up.
That's an awful trade.
Yeah.
That is. There's no way you can every time he tries to justify it, he just is digging the hole deeper. He's just digging. It's terrible. And what sucks is I feel like the owner was probably just as much like pushing for that because he didn't want to pay him, and the GM is going to be the one who gets fired
for sure.
The owner is going to still get to keep his team, and the GM is going to be the one who has to have that on his resume now. Oh, what are you known for? Wait, you traded Luka for this? No, this can't be right. This is a typo.
This is right.
You were worried about his injury history, and so you must have got somebody who hasn't missed many games. Oh, you got
the injury guy,
Anthony Davis. What? Get out of here! It's so bad. I was texting John Nye the other night. He texted me and he said Anthony Davis is balling out. I said he'll get hurt here real soon. It was like 5 minutes later. He said, by the way, they just took Anthony out because he's hurt.
Oh man!
It wasn't 5 minutes. It wasn't 5 minutes. I said there's a couple things in life that are certain: death, taxes, and Anthony Davis is going to get hurt in the game.
Yes.
Someone get Kevin Costner in town to fix. We need Sonny Weaver.
Yeah, Devontae, thank you. We could use that right now.
Oh man, rough. All right, what do we need to get into now? So, if I guess the dream scenario for the first round, most likely not happening. Honestly,
not for any of us.
We're on our way. We're on our way to nightmare scenario.
No,
Well, I said if we didn't get an offensive difference maker in this first round, like this was bad. I guess who do you have your eye on now in terms of whether they trade up or say they're just going to sit at 33 and 36? Who's like the number one player on your big board that they got to come away with now?
This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Guys, is your wedding band old, outdated, or just not the same taste you had when you were younger? Or hey, maybe you're about to get married, but you don't want to deal with the salespeople at the jewelry stores. Manly Bands has the best wedding bands made specifically for men. They have the classic timeless gold and white gold styles, but they also have rings made from platinum, black zirconium, tungsten, titanium, even materials like meteorite and dinosaur bone. Yes, your wedding ring could be made from a dinosaur fossil. That is a real thing. They also have different ring collections, like their Jack Daniels rings made from actual Jack Daniels whiskey barrels. They also have Lord of the Rings and DC Comics band collections. Head over to manlybands.com/dogs and take advantage of their 30% off sale with free shipping. Plus, use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out for another 10% off your order. Now, every Manly band comes with a free silicone ring, and if you don't know your ring size, that's okay. You can order a free ring size chart from Manly Bands to make sure that you know exactly the right size before you order. And then if you get your ring and it doesn't fit just right, you can always return it or exchange it without any hassle. And I know this because I like my rings to be a little more loose, and the first band that I got was just a little too snug for the way I like to wear it, so I exchanged it, and the whole process was quick, easy, and I had my new ring in no time. And now, Manly Bands is even accessorizing men beyond just your wedding rings with their chain necklaces and chain bracelets made for men by men. And if you need groomsmen gifts or anything else, Manly Bands has you covered with their barware, whiskey glasses, flasks. They even have customized coasters and flight trays. So skip the jewelry stores, avoid the salespeople, and get a wedding band that was designed for you. Manlybands.com/dogs to get 30% off, free shipping, plus get an extra 10% off when you use code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Man, I need a running back to get this offense going, but I don't think anything I want's at round 2. So I need either. Man, that's tough. I don't know. I like. Josh got me depressed. I think we're taking a freaking offensive tackle.
I'm sorry, man. I just like that is now like that's my gut feeling is
the Oregon tackle is going to be there. And,
it's going to be Josh Connerly.
You know, unless something happens where I've seen a couple things where Omari and Hampton falls, but I don't even know if I want him. I like Junkins way better.
I like both Ohio State running backs.
We got to see who the Broncos and who the Chargers could take a running back in the first round too.
Chargers
for sure. God, I hope
Chargers,
it's not one of the Ohio State guys. It was bad enough I had to watch J.K. Dobbins play for that Michigan F word. I've said it enough times. I might have family watch. I've said it enough times already.
Andy took it off the TV at home because his kid was watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Kaiser children.
Oh, swearing.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy's.
Sorry Andy.
It's part of the deal here.
if I had to pick a person who's like the number one get for me now, it's Igbokwe.
Sure.
I would love Igbokwe. Sure. Yep. I'm with Kenny. I would love to get a running back because I'm just I can't watch Jerome Ford anymore. My
thought is the running back then can be there at 36.
I know. I totally get it. If Igbokwe's at 33 or falling through the 20s, I would try.
If you take Igbokwe at 33 and then say Shedeur is still there at 36, do you take him at 36 and then try to use some of that draft pack capital we picked up to trade back up in and get Judkins or Henderson? Do you risk passing up on the running back to get the quarterback?
Dude, I don't know, man. The trade
because I feel like a lot of people don't have a first round draft grade on Shedeur. I still am of the belief that he fits what we want to do on offense like very well.
Sure.
So there's a lot less pressure to come out and play when you're taking it 36 than as opposed to 2.
And you have a chip on your shoulder a little
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Andrew Berry's only traded up in the NFL draft one time,
for JOK.
Okay.
and that was it. So a lot of times he'll either trade back or just stay put and let whoever fall to him. And I mean, he's already accumulating picks. I don't know if they're trading up. I mean, I think I still think they will if somebody they like is there, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. They just stay
What
pat.
if Luther Burden III falls?
Not a big fan. I know you guys might be different. I'm just not.
Well, here's
Colts.
what it says. NFL production here is fascinating. Burden brings skill set reminiscent of the rookie year of Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, no.
I think he just retired.
He's a rapper now.
Yeah, him and AB. AB's going to open for him.
one thing
Maybe
that
he had
I
a way better career.
one thing that I would look
Probably a way
at
better rapper too.
one thing that I would look at for
Tyler Warren did get picked.
one thing I would look at for the Browns though is getting receivers. That
Tyler Warren
really,
got picked.
He did.
Yeah, to the Colts.
Oh, well, that was the other landing spot for a tight end for sure.
Yeah,
Him with Steichen. Who's playing quarterback for them right now?
It's either Richardson or Daniel Jones.
Listen, you remember we did our hot take episode. Daniel Jones was my hot take pick for comeback player of the year. And that was when he was still in New York.
Okay, yeah.
That was when he was still in New York. I think you put him with Shane Steichen, and he's got Jonathan Taylor. I mean,
they have weapons.
They have
Josh
weapons.
Downs is nice.
They just added a top receiving tight end. My hot take for comeback player of the year is still out there.
yeah.
Just with a different team.
Just with a different team. No, it was for this coming year.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was when we were talking about. It was right around the NFL awards, and we were picking like our next year 2 early people. And I said comeback player of the year was
Boy,
going to
that
be.
feels like forever ago.
Yeah,
Dang.
and I said it was going to be Daniel Jones.
All right.
So we'll see. Who do you think they roll with at the beginning of the season?
Anthony Richardson. You got to
Yeah,
give.
you
I mean,
gotta-
he's the guy you took it for.
Right.
Yeah, they already benched him for Joe Flacco.
They did.
Yeah, he took himself out of a game.
But I mean, if you don't start
Took
him,
himself
then,
out of a game.
Yeah, he was
quarterback.
tired.
yeah.
I know McAfee is not a fan,
Yeah, I love McAfee.
and I know like he doesn't make decisions for the team, but he does speak for a lot of people in Colts Nation.
Yes.
Falcons on the clock now. Team needs wide receiver. So this is when I was doing a lot of mock drafts. This was some of the places where I was seeing Ibuka go. Was at 15 to the Falcons
Do they need speed or what do they need?
if they could get Penix a weapon.
oh, I mean, he's just a reliable weapon. The thing is, like,
What did he test? Did he run anywhere?
I don't think he ran. Maybe at his pro day. I don't think it's not a super fast. He's not a track star. He's not a super fast receiver.
I think he
but-
still ran like in the 4.4s though.
Okay, I would
If I
say
remember.
like everybody's like, oh, you got to run the. Amon-Ra St. Brown ran like a 4.54 or something slow. I mean, I think Keenan Allen ran a slow 40, didn't he? I mean, there's guys.
He ran a
there's
4.48.
If you can run routes,
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, if you can create separation and catch the ball, you can play in the NFL.
Well, and look at what Jarvis Landry did for us. He was a guy that could get guys on the line of scrimmage and get them set up so we didn't get these procedure penalties that we get all the time.
Right.
And he could block. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both benefited greatly from having him on the field. I kind of like the guys that can block in here. Like I like Besh and I like Ao Manor, like Elick. I like those two guys. They're 210 pounds, 215 pounds. And the guy from Stanford, he can run a 4.4. Like, I mean, that's pretty good. Jack Besh, not Jeff, as we got into a long time ago. He's 6'2", and he's the best blocker of the bunch because he was a tight end. So, I mean, you want to pair him with somebody like a Harold Fannin Jr., and then you can have real like weapons and hide some stuff based on what they can do. I mean, I'd be feeling better about the offense then.
So I want to address a comment in here, but doesn't matter. And he's kind of going back and forth with Natus the greatest. He says, me and you look to be the only ones that are psyched about Graham. He's an absolute unit. It's, again, not to just beat the dead horse, but we got 4 hours of airtime to fill. It's one of those things where he could be amazing. He could be the next coming of Aaron Donald. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't score you any points. It doesn't move the needle. And I guess some people are maybe willing to accept that this year the Browns are going to be awful. But I was hoping,
Not me.
thought that if we went and got some studs in the draft, which again we can, it's that like we could be good or at least interesting.
Yeah.
Like have something to be excited for.
Competent.
If we go this route and we don't add any of these top level offensive talents, I don't want to say this on our Browns podcast, but I have a hard time caring as we enter into the season. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to be very tough to know going in. One, our schedule's brutal, and then to just go in and be like, well, last year it was a struggle to get to 16, and it might be a struggle to get to 12 this year in terms of points per game.
Yeah.
Better hold them to 11.
Do you guys remember when Ronnie Hickman was our or no? Who was
It was Rodney McLeod,
McLeod was our leading touchdown scorer.
through
Yeah.
how many weeks?
The Philly game. I mean, that was what
6 weeks of the season.
Pick 6 and a blocked field goal, and you're the leading scorer for 8 weeks.
Yes.
Brutal.
Who was that?
Rodney
McLeod.
freaking Cloud, our backup safety who was 37,000 years old. Yes.
Oh.
Kevin says, why not wait and see what they do the rest of the draft? There's still a lot of offensive talent yet left. If
We're here now.
want
If,
to.
yes,
Yes, I'm
if you were
here,
here
bro.
at the beginning, I said I'm trying not to, but I'm failing miserably. I'm trying not to overreact to the pick until I see what we do tomorrow or later tonight if we trade back up.
Well, and again,
But
it's
this is
also-
all I had to react to right now. And like I said, I got 3 more hours that I have. I just am imagining Genty run around in Las Vegas and Hunter,
That'll be tough.
catching a ton of passes and also having like highlight reel interceptions to seal games, and Mason Graham stuffed the stat sheet with 2 pressures and 1 TFL, and we lost 18-10. And I'm just like, you got, like,
Not
You-
good,
you-
bro.
Stat sheet.
High scoring baseball.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
I'm with you, man.
it's one of those things where it's just, and I understand that football is like, it's not always the sexy pick, and you got to build the trenches and all that stuff, but
Haven't we been doing that?
But that's the thing is
We've
we've tried to
been
build
doing
the
that,
trenches
yeah.
and it hasn't worked. And that's what sucks.
and we've drafted so many linemen and we've waited so long to take offensive weapons since Andrew Berry has been here that the offensive side of the ball is depleted.
yeah.
For like the last 10 years, man. Like, it's,
Like when was the last time we took, I guess maybe we can get one of our people in our ear to look this up for us on the fly. When was the last time we took like a highly coveted offensive weapon in the first round? Can we even think off the top
Gosh,
of our head?
I made a post not too long ago with all of our first round picks since '99, and I'm feeling like it was
Like when was the last time
Trent
there?
Richardson maybe
yeah, I would say it was Trent Richardson.
at 3.
It-
I think it was Richardson maybe.
And I
Was it
knew
4? Okay, sorry.
And I know we took Braylon Edwards
I
at
can't
3.
remember.
And
Oh, it was
and
Braylon
he
Edwards.
sucked.
Yeah, he was before Trent though.
Yes, he was. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's like just going back to say 2016 or 2015, just the last decade. And I know there was 3 years we didn't have first round draft picks, but even then in the early second, when was the last time we took a guy where it's like everybody was like, this guy's a difference maker on the offensive side of the ball, and we drafted him? No, we always pass on him.
Yeah.
We always pass on him.
Yeah.
We passed on. We traded and didn't take Julio Jones. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yep.
We didn't take Deshaun Watson. In the 4 best years of his career, we watched him tear it up in Houston, and then we gave up 3 picks to get him for the ass end of his terrible career. You know what I mean? Like we could have had him for the good part. How does that change the trajectory of our team if we take him? But again, we passed on another offensive talent that everybody like this. His coach called him the Michael Jordan of football, and we were like,
Nah, we want Jabril Peppers.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it, the offensive skill players that are legitimate on our team right now, it's Jerry Jeudy, who was a trade by Andrew Berry, and it's David Njoku, who was a draft pick by
Dorsey.
Was it Dorsey or who? I don't remember who was somebody
it
before
was
him.
Sashi Brown.
Sashi Brown.
Oh wow.
Like Andrew Berry, yeah. There's nobody on our offense in 5 years. This is year 6. This is his 6th NFL draft.
We make fun of the Steelers for this kind of thing, but we're doing it, only we're not even getting, like, our defense doesn't win us as many games as their defense wins them.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they pass on offensive people all the time, but they somehow make the playoffs because the defensive players they pick are the difference makers and they don't make mistakes and they win close games and they somehow squeak into the playoffs. We keep passing on offensive talent and then we just good year, bad year, good year, bad year, good, no consistency. We can't score any fucking points on a consistent basis. It's just somebody said 18-10, you're giving our offense a lot of credit. This person says when I was 7, it's like this is feeling like the Anthony Schwartz draft. I cooled on Hunter after a statement that he'd rather quit football than not play both ways in the NFL. It rubbed me the wrong way.
He was just a kid talking.
Well, and
to
here's
me.
the thing. I don't judge people for that kind of stuff. Like it's not like he came out and said my shit don't stink. He just said I want to play on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
you know,
like
I want a guy who wants to play a lot of football.
He
not
like
a guy I have to talk in
if
to
you
putting in
read
the extra time.
he was misquoted on that too by a lot of people. He did not, from what I read, his quote, he did not say, I would rather quit football than only play one side of the ball. I think he was asked, what would it mean to you to only play one side of the ball? And he said, man, not even playing football anymore. Like, that's all I've ever done. For him, playing football is both sides of the ball. That's what he was saying.
Yes.
And everybody took it like, oh, he'll quit. I'm like, bullshit. That's not what he said. Shut up. I hate the media misconstrues comments so well.
You know what's great though about this conversation is we don't even have to worry about him quitting because he's
not on our team.
Yep. Didn't draft him.
Devontae, thank you. He said within the past 10 years, Corey Coleman at 15 in 2016.
Do you remember? I remember about
what a
Corey
pick.
Coleman getting hit in the face with a ball against Pittsburgh
To
when we
complete.
didn't win a game, and then he had a really great shoe collection because of
His face mask drop completed 0-16. Because if he catches that, he scores, and I think we win that
trust
game,
me,
right?
I really,
100%.
Okay, that's what
Well, we're driving. Yeah, we're
Driving
making it
down,
interesting.
we had all the momentum.
Yeah.
And then there's him at the
I
end
know it
of
was
the
on the goal line.
like this.
hit him right in the freaking face, man. Those are the situations though. Like as a Browns fan, like I relive. Like I'm just like, yep. Hopefully we don't have to do that again.
Bad.
So I'm looking at this 2016 NFL draft in which we took Corey Coleman. Okay. We had the number 2 pick that year.
Yeah, we traded back to 8, and then we traded back to 15, right?
Yes, we traded back to 8, and then we traded back to 15. Okay. Carson Wentz was taken at 2 by the Eagles. Joey Bosa. There was Zeke Elliott was taken, offensive player. Jared Goff was also taken at number 1. We didn't have a chance at him. Jack Conklin got taken at 8. Not a ton of offensive guys in this draft. So then Corey Coleman was the first receiver. We took him at 15, and then I'm trying to see anybody after him. Will Fuller, Josh Dotson, Laquan Treadwell, Paxton. This was a bad draft. Holy sharp.
So they really wanted Goff in that year, and they panicked and traded back.
We took a guy in the first round there, and it's not like we passed on a bunch of. I would say the biggest miss on that was we could have stayed at 2 and taken Zeke. Prime Zeke would have been nice.
Yeah.
Would you? But
as an Ohio State fan, I would have loved that.
So I won't fault him there. I'm going to just over the course of the next couple hours look at the next few drafts and see what offensive players we passed on, and that we could have taken. I'm just kind of looking at the results here. If we go to the next one, we took number 1. We took Myles Garrett. Obviously, pretty good pick probably. There's Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, Mike Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes. Would you rather have Myles Garrett or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes,
Deshaun Watson. Obviously, we know Deshaun now, but again, if we had Deshaun for his first 4 years, who knows what's going on?
Right.
And we ended up with Myles Garrett and Jabril Peppers.
I could Heath. I can't. I have terrible eyes. I can't read really well. But correct me if I'm wrong. In that year where we traded back and passed on Julio, didn't we take Justin Gilbert and Johnny Manziel that year? Was that the same year?
No, that wasn't Julio.
Okay, cool.
Was it?
Well,
I think that Julio was already in the league.
I can't remember who. Oh, I'll tell you this, Heath. We didn't get a player that was on the same level as Julio Jones at the end of the day, or draft capital back to.
I'll tell you who it was. Here, give me
All
one
right,
second.
cool.
But you guys go ahead and keep talking. It's going to take me more in a second. I lied.
Okay. It's
we suck.
It's the thing. It's like we just and you see people will talk like this. We always try to be like the smartest people in the room. and I defend our front office and stuff a lot, but can we please quit passing on offensive players? And I guess again, what we do tomorrow is going to alter my mood. If we come out with Mason Graham and we go and we get Judkins and we go and get Ibuka, I'll feel pretty good. But as of right now, this is all I have to go on.
We did. We traded off of, what was it, pick?
4,
right?
went to 7, right?
Pick 6 was Julio Jones.
Okay.
So Atlanta came up to 6 to get Julio. And then I think we went back and then traded back again, if I'm not mistaken. But we ended up taking Phil Taylor, defensive tackle at 21.
Great guy.
Great
Not
guy.
great football player.
Phil Taylor from
great-
Baylor.
Great Cleveland Brown
And then
fan.
what other offensive players, too, were then taken on that draft?
So after pick 6, where we could have been, it was Julio Jones there. And then at like quarterback, Jake Locker. Quarterback, Blaine Gabbert. Defensive end, J.J. Watt. Quarterback, Christian Ponder. Guard, Mike Pouncey. I mean, this was 2011. Not a lot of skill players. You don't have any skill players until Jonathan Baldwin at wide receiver 26.
Yikes.
And then it was.
It also tells you
Mark
how much
Ingram.
the league has changed.
Yeah, Mark Ingram was the first running back there at 28 to New Orleans.
If you go look at like some of these drafts from 10 years ago, it's almost always like defensive lineman. Like they did not put an emphasis on skill position players and stuff like that.
Right.
Last year's pick was Holland. How did that work out? I know
It was
Kinda
Hall was so
upper-
hard to gauge because
yeah.
he was suspended for the first 4? Was it 4 or 6?
Yeah, then injured and like,
Then he got injured. He was on IR for a stint. And then he came back and then he tore his MCL. And yeah, okay, so it didn't work out. I'm with you there. Crusty Critter.
Wait, what?
Crusty Critter. That's who said that.
Stacy said, do we think the Browns are still looking at a free agent for offense, and that's why we traded back? Free agency's going who's left?
yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like I don't think like that should be your plan. You have a chance to get young.
Yeah, there's nobody in free agency.
you got Chubb, and you got.
I'm seeing stuff now like
Amari
people
Cooper.
are speculating maybe this is actually, and we've said it. I know I've said it. Maybe this is a rebuilding year, and they just don't want to say it.
Well, they said it.
Well,
they said it
We're,
just now.
we're accumulating draft picks and
Yeah.
building the trenches. So
They said it just now with this pick, right?
yeah, that's how I feel. Dead air. Sorry, guys. We'll keep talking here, but Stacy said, "Is Chris Olave still a possible
I don't know
trade
if-
target, or is he out of the picture?"
I don't
They
know
just
if-
picked up his 5th-year option.
Really?
And they
I was worried he was.
They just drafted a tackle.
I don't think he's an option at all.
I don't think if they were going to trade their number one wide receiver, they would have probably tried to replace
If
him.
they're going to trade him, I think it will be next year. Because with a 5th-year option, so his next year's salary becomes fully guaranteed, whatever it is based on the chart. I'll have to go look at it. But whatever roster bonus money or whatever this year becomes guaranteed. So I think they would probably hold him through this year. And then next year, if they're like, let's recoup some picks for him, whatever, that would be the time. But I think he's off the table now.
We should talk. Did we mention that the Falcons took Jalen Walker? So they did not go.
We've missed a couple picks.
They did not go wide receivers, so that's good for me. Ibuka's still on the board. Walter Nolan, interior defensive tackle, goes to the Cardinals. So now the Bengals on the clock. I think they're salivating right now. I think this is going to be one of the edge rushers.
Yeah.
This is going to be either Green or I can see like James Pierce. I've heard he's got a ton of character like red flags.
Yeah, big time. I would not take James Pierce.
Not on
Nope,
the
I would not do it.
Browns.
Now they got Walter. They got Walter Nolan.
You know, it's that's who the Cardinals went.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Bengals.
Oh, my bad.
I think they're going to go edge because they still haven't figured out a deal with Trey Hendrickson, have they?
No.
I think they're about to just draft his replacement and he's going to be gone. Maybe the Browns can get him.
Maybe they'll.
I would take that.
This episode is brought to you by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, Bodden Sports is your one-stop shop for all your athletic gear. Bodden started out perfecting and manufacturing the best balls in the business. Yeah, if that sounded dirty, that's more about your mind than my words. But hey, it's true. Baseballs, softballs, footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, you name it, and Bodden has engineered the highest standard sports balls available. And now they offer more than just sports balls. If you got kids playing baseball or softball, Baden has batting gloves and bats to go along with both game balls and training balls. If you're into basketball, Baden makes basketball specifically for indoor or outdoor use. Heck, Baden even has all the equipment you need for pickleball, which is one sport that I hear everyone is playing and yet I still never have. And I need to fix that soon. But don't miss the backyard games section of Baden's website where you can order everything you need for this upcoming outdoor season. Pool balls, backyard volleyball nets, croquet, bocce, horseshoes, cornhole, and more. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order at Baden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. That's 10% off all the top quality sporting gear you need this season. BadenSports.com/dogs.
All of a sudden, all right, I'm talking myself into liking the Browns again. Here we go.
If you're tuning in tonight, you guys are riding the roller coaster.
Right
Browns
along
fan.
with us.
That's right, baby.
I'm got my watch on. My heart rate's going up. It's going down. I'm comatosing. I'm having a heart attack.
I hate the Browns. Wait, but if they do this away, I love the Browns.
What if Bengals draft Mike Green?
Mm-hmm.
They give Hendrick. They say, "Okay, we don't need you anymore, Trey. Thanks for your services, but we're not going to pay you because we're too broke."
Yeah.
We got this new young stud in here.
Mm-hmm.
Hendrickson wants to stick it to him.
Yeah.
We sign him because we didn't draft Abdul Carter. We need another edge.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, your D line is your top 5 pick, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson, and then we go and get Ibuka at 33 and Quinshon Judkins at 36.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting over here bricked up.
I have one pushback on this. He wants money, which we don't have.
This is true.
We can figure it out.
Just restructure
If there's
2098.
If there's one thing that I'm
The salary cap's not real.
absolutely not worried about is Andrew Berry being able to figure out how to
This is
get
true.
money to work to get somebody on our team. Like if there's one thing I have unlimited trust in with Andrew Berry, it's that.
Yeah.
If they want Trey Hendrickson and he wants money, they'll figure out a way to give him his money and get him on the team.
Yeah.
They'll figure that out. Especially if you can say, well, we'll front load you in this, and then when we get all this insurance money, tax relief next year from Watson, we'll have a ton of money. We'll extend you then, or some backdoor deal. I don't know what you're allowed to do, anything like that, but he'll make that work. But I would be shocked if the Bengals don't go with edge rusher here. Shocked.
I just realized that we never got
Has to
our
be defense.
never got our calls from Ian Swifty.
That's okay.
Journey must have been really jamming out tonight.
No, it's because I totally forgot about it. He's been texting me, but I got my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, that's tough.
So-
yeah.
So I do want to throw it out to the chat. Was anybody at the Journey concert tonight? How was it? Because I don't like a lot of 80s bands, but I do like Journey. And I'm curious what their lead singer's like live.
My mom said he's good. My mom.
I mean, I've seen some videos, but
times.
They'd
She
be
likes
fun,
them.
man.
She said they're great.
I've seen them. I've seen them
Legendary rock
before.
stars. They go out and play and sound good.
I was at a Journey Foreigner doubleheader.
Oh,
it was
Foreigner.
fantastic.
Out of Foreigner
Loved it.
headline that thing. Come on now, not Journey.
I don't like many 80s bands, but Journey has, it's like bang. Their greatest hits
bangers.
is banger after banger.
Yeah.
Them, REO Speedwagon.
Okay. All right, keep going.
That's pretty good.
And
That's
then
it. What about the outfield?
they got a song, and I can play the shit out of it on the
Me too.
drums
And I
on
can
Rock
sing
Band.
the shit
I was
out of
gonna
it.
say, I knew it.
I sing it every time.
I knew
Sorry.
it.
We got off track. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're live for 4 hours, you're going to go off track
Do you,
sometimes.
do you want me to check with him and see if he still wants to give us an insider report?
Yeah, do it.
Well, you just asked us live, and he's our friend, so I can't say no. He'll be like,
We're good.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's having
On
an
to the
okay
next
time in
thing.
the stadium right now, so I think we'll see what.
what he says.
Yeah.
Andre Rison, a free agent. We don't do Six Flags in Ohio. We do Cedar Point.
Yeah, or
I'm
Kings
like,
Island.
I'm like really caught up in a different conversation here. Let's relive the draft where we passed over Ben Roethlisberger. If we just go through all the bad drafts in Cleveland Browns history, we're going to be here for a long
Well, we're going to be here all night anyway.
Well, just
but-
start at 99.
Bengals just made
Just
their
go, keep
pick.
going.
Their pick is in.
Yep, and it was an edge rusher.
It wasn't?
It was.
Let me hang on. I'm refreshing. For some reason, my thing's not just going. I have to refresh it. It's weird. I must be Nostradamus. It wasn't one of the ones I said, but
They took the athletic freak.
yeah. But man, this is to me. This is the thing. Like his production.
Yeah, it
Was
was
not-
questionable.
Like he's he's looks great getting off the bus guy, but then out on the field, he was. If you're them, why do you not take the guy who led the nation in sacks? That freaking Marshall. Like, you can't imagine there's a bunch of other NFL ready guys that the offense was focusing on. If this guy's getting all the attention and he still led the nation in sacks, I'd have taken Green. Like, that's who I would have taken.
And I know I think there was some off-field maybe concerns or whatever about Mike Green maybe in the past or something about him, but maybe that played into it.
It's all coming to fruition now, though. Trey Hendrickson, you are a Cleveland Brown. I'm speaking it into existence. Chat, what do you guys think about my my scenario? The Bengals let Trey Hendrickson walk now. Browns go out, sign him. All of a sudden, our defensive line is now Mason Graham, Myles Garrett, Trey Hendrickson. We address this offense here early second round. We put all this negative Nancy-ness to bed. I'm back on.
This is where things are going to get interesting because we're at 18 with Seattle and we're coming up on that pick 21 with Pittsburgh. Where that could be the next quarterback spot. Yeah. So does a team trade up here to 18, 19, 20 to get ahead of them? There was reports the other day, just yesterday, I think still today, that pick 20 from the Broncos was on the table. Yes. Like they're saying, hey, we will trade back. Somebody come up and get this pick if you want it.
I feel like they need a running back bad.
Another one to watch out for is they do. Another one, though, is Minnesota at 24 because they think they only have like 4 picks in this draft and they're looking to recoup some extra picks.
If I'm Minnesota, and maybe this is overkill because there's only one football to go around, but imagine if you could snag Ibuka. And you got
Addison,
Jefferson, Ibuka, and TJ Hawkinson out there.
My God.
And
Aaron Jones.
I know they're looking for
looks good.
I hear they're looking for running back too, though.
I hear they actually draft weapons. It's great. I wish someone else would do that. The Browns.
Doesn't it just frustrate the shit out of you, though, to like watch these other teams that just have offensive weapons all over the field?
Everything just falls perfect.
And then
Baltimore doesn't necessarily draft high either. They're always like kind of.
No, they just take value.
Yeah,
because they have that luxury.
Because it's like you can not draft based off need if you built your foundation good 20 years ago and then you just have kept it up. You know what I mean? Then you could just – but if you're tearing it down to the studs, you got to address some needs. You can't go get really nice windows if your basement's cracked.
Yeah.
And right now, or if you don't have a frame for the window.
Yeah, exactly.
And then right now the Browns' foundation is cracked. I wouldn't be shocked. The Seahawks, PFF has their needs as guard, center, edge. They could go Green. I also feel like if they're talking about possibly being willing to trade Kenneth Walker, but they got Charbonnet, but I don't know. Like I feel like we've heard a lot about him, and then he doesn't stay healthy, and he just.
Are you talking about Walker or Charbonnet?
Charbonnet.
I was going to say
Walker gets injured too.
Yeah, they're both injury prone. I mean,
Josh has mentioned that like they've been open to trading Kenneth Walker, so he's running back on the board for them.
I mean, when Charbonnet steps in. It doesn't seem like there's any.
They've been moving all their offensive pieces this year, like the older ones, so it would make sense that Kenneth Walker could be dealt. I also saw about Breece Hall potentially being on the trade block during this draft, so we'll see what happens there in New York. I did want to say just maybe we'll get the tempo back up a little bit. So going back to the trade at 2, this is from Over the Cap on Twitter, says the Browns will receive 5,512 points on the Fitzgerald Spielberger draft chart. The Jaguars gain 36-10. So that's a differential of 1,902 points in the Browns' favor. It's about equivalent to the 8th overall pick next year. So if the Jaguars have anywhere from the 8th on, we're getting a big deal, like a good deal.
Like anything high, 8 or higher, you mean?
No, I'm saying like it's the value is about the 8th pick. So the value, say the Jaguars have a good season, they're picking at 24. Well, we get the 24th pick, but the value that we got it, like the value was the 8th pick.
I would have just rather taken Travis Hunter at this point.
How can the value of the 24th pick?
I want to buy that jersey so bad.
I'm just saying, like the further down you go, like obviously the picks are lower and lower in value. So if the value was like 700 for the Browns, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, here's an example. If you want to get back into the first round, like we have a 33 pick, it's 580 points. To get up to 19, the value is 875. So you got to make
19's one I'm looking at with the Bucks.
Yeah, so I've mocked that one a couple times. ultimately, here's an example. You take your 33rd, 85th, and your 190th, and that gives you a total of 760 points. So you get close, and then you got to add like a pick the next day.
Patrick, does anybody have any idea how many times Kuiper Jr. has said the word upside foot so far tonight? Last leg of my heart parlay I need to hit.
Well done, sir. Well done, Patrick.
No lie. I was thinking about putting on like a coat, like a sports coat and a tie, and getting some glasses and not getting a haircut and slicking my hair back and just like
Kuiper.
doing a 4-hour Mel Kiper
Oh,
impression.
that'd be so great, bro.
Josh. Now Josh. I just don't know how many times I can say Josh in 4 hours.
I love that when he's talking about
I think
coffee.
you'd fall out of character pretty quick.
Man.
Yeah, I would have had a tough time staying in character. I had something before I got off topic. Seeing the thing about Kuiper. Yeah, this is a good time. The good news is we can still buy a Travis Hunter jersey. Well, you can if you like the Jags, I guess.
I did like the Jags.
But this is a good time to mention jointhedogs.com. We picked up one new member for sure tonight. Obviously, GCB, I believe that was your handle I saw in here. We're obviously all on online, so you probably haven't gotten reached out to on the Patreon, but we will be doing that sometime, shortly within, tonight or tomorrow. And we'll get you hooked up into the Discord and everything. But you are going to be entered for the jersey. And again, if you want to win a Browns jersey, it was going to be a Travis Hunter. Obviously, we didn't pick him. If you want it to be Mason Graham or any other Browns player of your choosing, jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. You have until the end of this live to join to be entered. And obviously to any current Dog Pack members, we love you, and you are entered.
There goes one of, I think Blake's guys, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, to the Seattle Seahawks, a guy that I thought might be available at 33 when the Browns pick, but he's gone.
I've heard that, it's especially at the Senior Bowl, this dude's stock rose a ton.
It did. Sure.
Gray Zabel to the Seahawks.
Man, I wanted that guy bad.
I will say this, at least if we were going to pass on offensive talent at 5, outside of Colson Loveland got picked at 10, Tech got picked at 8, obviously Genty at 6.
Tyler Warren.
But there's still a lot of the guys that we had on our board available.
If the plan is to get offensive playmakers with that 33 and 36 picks, okay, there's going to be some available. If the plan is to go another defensive player or an offensive lineman, okay, whatever.
It's I guess how will you feel if we stay at 33 and 36 and we leave with Graham, Ibuka, and a running back? Does it make you feel better about the Graham?
I'd be more excited. Well, I mean, there's no turning back now, dog. We're moving
does
this
it make you
direction,
feel
bro.
better?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point. Yeah.
Well,
yes.
here's the one thing about getting Graham, okay? So if you take a look at our defensive tackle, I forgot I put all this together here. I actually put stuff together about defensive tackles. So you have Malik Collins, who we just signed. You have Shelby Harris. You got Jawan Briggs. You have Mike Hall Jr. You got Ralph Hawley and Sam Kamara. So that tells me we got a lot of defensive tackles. I'm not sure. Here's their grades: 54.2, 66.8. This is all against the run. Jawan Briggs, 76.3. Mike Hall Jr., 67.4. Ralph Hawley isn't in there because he played in the CFL, and they don't have a grade. I can't find the grade for Sam Kamara. So right now,
he didn't play.
Sam Kamara. Oh, I thought he played last year for a bit.
Oh, he might have, but I think he's mostly practice squad.
Oh, situational run defender. He probably didn't have enough snaps.
Yeah, that would
correct.
be my guess.
And so basically, if you look at the tier, you have Shelby Harris, who's considered strong against the run. Everybody else is average, below average, or a liability versus the run. So that's why they got him. And so that's, I mean, I tried to plug in who the other draft choices were, but it's giving me, these are all guys from last year.
It's just, this year against the run, we better be good. We better stop people. I don't want to be seeing us getting gashed and saying, Mason Graham getting blown off his block or getting blown off the line again, and all
Damn,
that
they're
kind
scoring
of stuff.
against us. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I really
Oh,
need
shit,
to see
they got
some,
17.
I
We're
really,
screwed.
really need to see some weapons.
I
man.
want to ask the chat here. Do us a favor. Obviously, I don't have X pulled up or any other news sites because I'm trying to be an engaged podcast host. Is there talks? Is there any talks about like is there rumors of the Browns trying to get back up, or are we just kind of spinning the wheels here and it's not even being discussed? Help us out here.
So
chat.
Fatal Gnome says Twitter's flooding right now with teams wanting to trade back, which is what I thought was probably going to happen about this point. Get to the 20s, and these teams are going to start saying, let's get into the second round, where I think there's going to be a lot of value. And remember, I forget who it was, but they were saying in this draft there's about 18 maybe guys that have like are actual first-round grades, which means after those guys are all gone, then you're drafting second-round graded guys in the first round. So this is where teams are like, I got to get out of here. I can't take this guy in the first round because it's too high. So this is where you might start to see quarterbacks or running backs for teams that are like, I got to get a running back, high-end one, like the Chargers or the Broncos. It could be interesting.
You know what's crazy? Kind of crazy to me when there's thinking like that. To me, it doesn't matter where you draft the guy if he becomes good. So, like, if I have a second-round grade on this guy, but I think he's good enough that he's going to come in and start for my team. Maybe he's not going to be an elite player, but he's going to be a good football player on my team because second round is still a good grade. Why would I not just take him at 25? Why would I risk not getting him? Like, it's all arbitrary in terms of, like, the value we play. Like, this chart. It's all
True.
fucking made up.
But, I mean,
like, you know what I mean? It's
kinda
all
like-
arbitrary things. Like,
You probably have a range of guys, though. Like
and you
saying
can-
if we trade back and there's one of these five guys is still available,
But they're not
I'm
all the
happy.
same.
I know, but I'm saying they're probably happy. Like we probably said, if we get to 5, we're happy. Mason Graham's at the top of our board, but we'd be happy with this guy or this guy. And if those guys aren't there, we'll probably trade back again. I don't know. I know that's how these teams think, though.
you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just like, if there's a guy that you think can help your football team, there's no such thing as overdrafting him. In my opinion, if he can help your football team, then it's not over. There's so many misses. So if you're that confident in him being the guy to help you,
Oh boy.
I almost joked about this, but I was like, no, they're not going to do that. They got Evans and
Godwin.
They
Godwin.
took him.
Well, Godwin's not going to be their slot guy anymore.
They just took Ibuka.
Emeka Ibuka, 19
Holy
to the
crap.
Bucks.
Wow.
All of a sudden, I'm back on the depression train. There was
There's a glimmer of hope, and then
Second wide receiver off the board in this draft. Well, I mean, after, I guess, Travis Hunter and then Tedero McMillan. Emeka Ibuka.
wow.
I love Emeka
I gotta
Ibuka.
watch fucking Baker Mayfield throw touchdown passes to him. I fucking hate my life.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like 5 minutes ago. He was all back on. The roller coaster ride is real.
Back up.
We're gonna be able to put together like a reel.
Yeah, just worst draft
Every
night
like high and low
moments.
point.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate my life.
Just unbelievable. Like,
Oh.
It's okay.
it would be the Bucks too, and Baker. Like,
Yeah. Go Browns. Oh man.
I'm telling you, if I gotta watch, if Travis Hunter and Genti are like battling out for offensive rookie of the year or
I know,
something,
man.
and Ibuka is the best rookie wide receiver, I'm just
Sick.
be sick. I'm drunk
still in
already.
Shock. I'm still in shock. Oh.
Yeah.
So
But how is he in the locker room? You guys are the only thing getting me through this right now. You're the only thing getting me through this.
live chat is awesome. You guys rock.
I think I saw Ron Harper on there. It's like passed on Hunter. And he's with a sick face emoji. He's a Ravens fan,
Oh yeah.
and even I'm pretty sure. And even he's like,
Dude, it doesn't matter what team you root for. You're watching another team just do these things over and over. It's like, man, I feel bad for them.
it's like watching an addict.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's like, man, like, oh, that's pathetic, but it's also like really sad.
Jesus.
I wish there was something I could do to help them. Like, I guess right here, are the Broncos going to trade out of this?
I don't know. Well, it's interesting though. Like,
They're gonna take Amari and Hampton.
I bet you they take a running back. Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my. Here comes Travion Henderson.
Oh man. Well,
We'll see.
Ohio State.
We'll see here.
They got
Ohio State
they got
running
a
back.
they got a banger in the the kid out of Notre Dame last year, so maybe they need a fast guy
Audric
that can catch.
Estime.
Audric.
Estime, or however you say it. Estime.
Yeah.
I know that like Javonte Williams is like awful.
He's gone.
Oh, he's
in
gone?
Dallas.
Okay.
They got Blake
awful.
Watson
He's awful.
and Audric Estime.
Blake Watson and Audric. Yeah.
I would say
and Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
There was-
Probably technically, I would say he's a starter, but I think those
He's probably their best running back right now.
Two of
I
the
think those are
easiest bets, if you're betting people, two of the easiest bets ever
Why are we getting more balloons?
for a
what are we
season ago.
celebrating?
Oh, was it because of this?
I don't know. Put it down
Throwing
though.
up the Hunger Games sign.
Was 2 years ago betting CMC anytime touchdown. That's
Yeah.
the easiest bet ever. And last year it was taking the under on whatever Javonte Williams line was.
Yeah, it was bad.
Almost guaranteed. I remember I took him under like 25 yards one game, and in the first quarter he ripped off like an 18-yard run, and I still wasn't sweating. And I think he finished the game with 19 and a half yards.
Tough.
I don't know if he hit the over ever.
He was. I really was excited about him when he first came into the league, and then
He was awesome at
that
first.
knee injury. He's never came out of that.
Yeah. No, I mean that's a story with like J.K. Dobbins, who I mean obviously he's still a free agent.
Yeah.
So that
It's crazy.
it's still an option, but it's just I know teams are waiting until after the draft for that. And I've seen a lot of people say, well, Nick Chubb hasn't signed anywhere, and veterans like Nick Chubb, especially the older guys coming off of injuries, if they're not signing, like if he's not signing back to the Browns right away, he's not signing anywhere until training camp.
Kenny Mack's so depressed he's just putting comments in the.
What did you say? Go Ravens. Go Ravens.
Go anyone that plays this team of sorrow.
Hey, somebody hacked your freaking YouTube account, bro. Jesus, you better get that under control. Sign out.
Kenny's usually so like lively and stuff. Look at him just sitting there. He's like, this past his bedtime.
He drove 8 hours for this. Oh, we said on the in
What
the
time
break.
did you get up today?
I got up at like 6 a.m.
Okay.
Canada time. That's like 4 a.m. here. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, you know what? I'm sitting back here.
Do they tell time on the metric system?
I'm sitting back here, and I have all these notes on Hunter, and I'm just staring at him like I can't use these. I can't say anything.
Well, you can when you start your Jacksonville podcast.
Oh man.
I just added to the guys the Browns could have had list.
Yeah. Oh man, my crying list.
Because we'll have to do the show again next year.
This says, I think the Broncos and the Steelers are both taking a running back. Broncos, I wouldn't be shocked, but
Steelers? Well, they don't have a second round pick. That's the thing. So the Steelers are they're pigeonholed into taking either they trade back and get some capital, which they might not be able to, or they got to take whatever player they think they want now. Because
are they going to give Warren like the chance to be the guy?
I don't know,
Because
man.
all we've heard is like how he's so explosive, and every time he gets in, but they don't ever give him the ball.
I know they should.
Were they just
has an
giving it to
opportunity
Najee
now.
because they took him in the first, and so they felt like they had to?
They like getting 3 yards.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is with Jaylen Warren there. But so do we all think they're going running back at 20 to Denver?
I would say so, or trade.
Steelers are taking Harmon from Oregon. Of
Oh,
course,
so they
they're
could
taking.
take another defensive tackle.
So I saw them mock defensive tackle. Like I said, I was joking with my boss about how they were going to go defensive player instead of taking quarterback. It is almost so if say quarterbacks if Shador gets past the Steelers, if we're looking past them, Chargers don't need a quarterback. Packers don't need one. Vikings don't need one. Texans don't need one. You could maybe make an argument that the Rams would take a quarterback, but like Orlovsky was saying on ESPN, they're legit Super Bowl contenders. Like if you don't take a backup, rookie quarterback to groom to replace Matthew Stafford when you just need a player or two to go. If they don't play in the snow, if they play indoors, I thought they had a very good chance to beat the Eagles. Yeah. They just couldn't hold on to the ball. Yeah.
They'd take receiver maybe. Like they need a weapon.
Yeah, I could see them going a skill position.
I thought they liked the kid from Stanford.
Who was that?
The Elick
Ayamanor?
Yeah.
But I know they're not.
Manor.
So maybe
Manor.
quarterback, but I doubt it. Ravens obviously not going quarterback. Lions not going quarterback. Washington not going.
The only one is maybe Rams. Did you say that?
Maybe the Rams. So
I've heard that, but I don't know if they do it in the first round.
I just feel like if the Steelers don't take one, Dart and Shador are both going to be available.
they're going to
pick
be
33.
there. We're going to have the pick of the litter at quarterback.
At quarterback at 33 if we want.
And hell,
then,
we could just skip it and just say if we like all these guys the same, wait till 36.
Then okay, so then let's look at.
But
so,
I do think that the Giants will definitely take one.
So you got, I think your biggest risk would be the Giants will take one. Would Tennessee trade out of 35 to somebody who wants the other one to get in front
Maybe
of the
New
Browns?
Orleans at 40.
Yeah, that could
If
be.
the Giants
a
took
big-
like Shador and then New Orleans came up and got Jackson Dart.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa,
I feel
yeah.
like the Giants aren't going Shador.
Well, the Saints don't seem to be big either on him. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, but I guess if there's one of those quarterbacks you like, I think you got to take him at 33, and then take your, at this point, running back at 36.
You might want to take him
Probably.
at 32 and get the 50-year
Hey,
option.
guys, where are we taking the offensive tackle?
This is true.
Oh,
Or we got to make room. We got to make room for
So,
off-ball linebacker.
Denver did not take a running back. They took a cornerback, the first true cornerback
took
of
Will
the draft.
Johnson?
They took Jahdae Barron from Texas.
So this is, here we go. Are they going to go quarterback?
This is big. This is
All right.
very big.
So I've got Ian Swifty lined up. I told him after the Steelers pick, we'll give Ian Swifty a call.
Tell him he's got to be on his best behavior.
Well, we can always just end.
Let's go, Brad. Let's go. Yeah, they're got to be taking Shador then.
right.
I mean,
100%.
if you don't take a quarterback here at Pittsburgh, they got to be confident Aaron Rodgers is coming. Because otherwise,
I'd
Look at that.
100%.
Look
There's
at that.
no
Or you
way-
can
there's
trade
no
for
way-
Kirk
Cousins or
Cousins.
something. There's
or
gotta be
Kirk Cousins. I
an
forgot about
outlier
that. Yeah.
plan on the thing. There's got to be a plan. You don't just say, "Hey, we're only rolling Mason Rudolph into the year." You know what I mean?
You
That's
got to
just-
think they're going quarterback here, right?
Well, you wouldn't
I
think
would
you
think
want to
so.
do Kenny Pickett either, right? So
Or do they
Joe
are they
Flacco.
are they nervous? Are they nervous about taking the quarterback just because they felt like they had to, like they did with Pickett, and it didn't pan out, and they want to go defense?
they can join the Browns train then.
Well, you know what I just realized? I'm sorry this is like an interjected thought, but the Broncos now have Patrick Surtain and Jahdae Barron at their cornerbacks. Damn.
Very good.
It'd be tough to pass on.
Yeah.
If what's his face is good quarterback. I'm in a brain
Bo
fart.
Nix.
Bo Nix. I kept wanting to say Paxton Lynch because I read his name in the when I was looking at all the drafts earlier. If he continues to play well, he doesn't have a sophomore slump. If he Broncos are going to be good.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Sean Payton's a good coach.
They could get like a good, they still have running backs on the board in this draft, which we're seeing. There's
receivers they could use.
teams
there's
that we
tight
thought were
ends.
going to take running backs didn't.
Then let's place I know this is all hypothetical and it could change here in like any second, but if Dart and Shador are both available at 33 and say we're dead set on taking quarterback, which one are you taking?
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order. And that code can be used over and over. So you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. Dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.
Say that again, bro. I'm so sorry.
Are you taking Dart or Shador if they're both sitting there and we're taking quarterback. We're not going
I'm
anything
taking
else.
Shador, man. He seems to be like a Kirk Cousins type guy for me to run that offense for Stefanski. The only way it's Jackson Dart is if there's more of a Reese type influence with the read, like not the RPOs, like the read options where the quarterback's actually reading and running. Not like reading and passing, And if it's reading and passing, that's Shador. If it's more of a run option from the quarterback, then I'd take Dart.
They did.
Either way, both are going to sit for a year, though.
They didn't take quarterback.
They did not.
They did not take. So you got to almost, unless somebody makes a move here to trade up, you got to think both these quarterbacks are going to be available at 33. Browns might not trade back up because if they're aiming for quarterback, which at this point with Ibuka gone, I feel like you're probably looking at quarterback.
And Ibuka was just us wanting him. There was no
Talk about the Browns.
about the Browns wanting him at all.
I feel like you're probably sitting there for quarterback. PFT commentator had a good point about Dart. He said Jackson Dart seems to be the kind of guy like that we do every year where he keeps getting better at football the further away we get from actually watching him play football games. Like months ago when we were playing football games, he was seen as a day 2, third round pick. And then the further we get away from watching him play football games, all of a sudden we were talking about him being a first rounder. Seems to be like,
Wasn't that the
seems to be like maybe GMs weren't falling for it this time.
That was the exact same scenario for Kenny Pickett, was it not?
Yeah, it definitely was. So I'm with you. I think I would go Shedeur because I feel like he's the most – he might have the lowest ceiling, but I feel like he has the lowest floor. And I just feel like he fits what we want to do on offense. We need a quarterback who's accurate, can play on time, and can process information quickly. And that's all of Shedeur's strengths.
The only difference, and I'm not saying I would prefer Dart, but just looking back at the pre-draft process, the Browns and Kevin Stefanski specifically spent a ton of time one-on-one with Jackson Dart, like through the private workouts and things like that. They didn't do that with Shedeur. They obviously brought him in for a visit. They went out to the pro day, took him out to eat and all that stuff, but they actually did a private workout with Dart. And maybe that was just to see, like, we're pretty confident what Shedeur can do. What can you do? Right. Maybe that was the case. I don't know.
You know what's killing me here is both of them will be on the board and we'll take Milroe.
Or if Milroe's the guy, they might trade back even. They might say, hey, New Orleans, why don't you come up here to 33, take the guy you want, and we'll pick at 40. But you guys want to let me get my Bluetooth up here, and we'll call Swifty in.
Let's do it.
And we'll see what he has to say. But
oh, gosh.
I know. It could get interesting.
Very
like
nervous.
Shedeur's a better prospect than Cousins entering the draft at this point.
Than Cousins?
Yeah. Or athleticism.
It's a legit phone call.
He should be calling you.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello, Ian. What do you have for us?
Ian Swifty.
What's up, guys? How you guys feeling?
We're good, Ian. How's what's the stadium atmosphere like up there in Cleveland?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. The oxygen got sucked out of the room as soon as it said trade on the screen.
Yeah, really?
I bet.
Are we a little bit shocked? Like, whenever I first heard that we were going to bring in a band and do a big draft party, it's like, oh, we're going quarterback at 2.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, it's Hunter at 2. I definitely didn't think we were going to trade, and I sure shit didn't think we were going to go defensive tackle.
No way.
This huge draft party and go defensive tackle at 5.
What did everybody at the stadium think we were going to do at 5?
Well, so when I was there, I had a lot of people saying like, "Oh,
look at these guys going.
Oh, we might get Genty." I'm like, "Well, I guess if we drop to 5 and still get Genty, I not going to cry too much." But then, my sources had me peeking at Mason Graham selecting. I'm like, "Oh no, not a lot of people are not going to like this in the stadium at all." And it was a pretty big boo fest, not gonna lie. There was
a boo fest.
Lot of cheers. Yeah, there was not a lot of cheers, I will tell you that.
Poor kid, man.
I know.
I'm gonna feel so bad.
That kind of sucks. Like,
want to get on
you just got drafted by your NFL team, and the fan base is pissed about it.
Just tell them to watch the draft on ESPN. They were all cheering.
Yeah. Don't listen to us.
I would stay with that because he was here in the home. If we had the draft in Cleveland this year, and that was the dude that had to come across. Oh man, it would have been a bad time for him.
I didn't even watch. Is he at the draft, Mason Graham?
Yeah,
did he come across?
Yeah,
I didn't even watch. I'll have to go back and see.
Yeah,
he looked happy.
Yeah,
he looked happier than I did.
He should be. He should be.
He just got really rich.
Yeah, well, Nate had to talk me off the ledge a little bit, and I watched some tape. Unfortunately, I had to watch Michigan play, and he looks good. It's not a flashy pick, but it's a solid pick. And as you've been noticing, there's been a trend in the draft as we keep continuing of defensive tackles being selected. So maybe Barry was onto something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Steelers just took one. So the Steelers
if
don't like offense as much as we do.
didn't want a defensive tackle in the first 4 picks anyway. So I don't really care who's available at 33, in my opinion, at D tackle, because I wasn't taking one to begin with. But
Ian, my biggest thing was I'm not anti-Graham. I'm just anti the position he plays because it doesn't score points. So
No.
it was disappointing. I want to ask you, how was Journey?
Journey was great. And I think that was probably part of the problem is people got a little
too hyped,
lubricated during the concert, and
sounds about right.
And the band themselves were all in Browns jerseys, and they said a couple times, "You guys are excited to draft Travis Hunter?"
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Journey said this, or was it like up on big boards?
It was Journey said it.
Journey. Thanks a lot.
They got the crowd so high for this.
You know what I told you guys?
Do you think
What did I tell you guys?
Do you think Jimmy and AB were like, cut it, shut up, cut it?
What did I tell you guys it was going to be? Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Don't Stop Believing is going to turn into Who's Crying Now.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
You got it,
I
buddy.
stand
You got
corrected.
Well,
Knew it.
Well, what's funny is they came on after we picked at 5, and they played Don't Stop Believing.
What did they play?
They played Don't Stop Believing after we picked at 5.
They fucking better.
Wow.
They better, bro.
They're
What
like,
a
wait, we
better
already
time
played
to
that
play
earlier.
that
Get out
song.
there and play it again.
Yeah, play
Jimmy's like, I'm not paying you. I can't believe they asked the crowd if they were ready to draft Travis Hunter.
That's awesome, man. I mean, it sucks, but that's hilarious.
That's like this. That reminds me of like when we were doing the banners in the crowd, and the one side was like
I was at
upside
that game,
down.
bro. I was
Yes,
at that game.
So was I.
Yeah,
I was looking at it and I was like, "We fucked that up. Look, it's upside down, and you always see it. This is like that, the version of that, only now. Are you guys ready to draft Travis Hunter? It's gonna be awesome. Here's his jersey." And then you
Wait.
oh, hang on a second.
Wait.
Trade back defensive tackle.
You guys are not gonna believe this.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready to draft Ashton Jensen?
Well, it was funny because
Oh my God.
I had multiple guys around me, and I already knew who the pick was, because way before the TV. The TV was so behind. He was worse than last year, in my opinion. And I was like, because they said pick was in, like, on the TV. And I was like, don't get excited. You're not going to like it.
And they
They're
didn't
like,
like it.
oh, I don't know. It was bad.
So, Brad, I'm sorry, Ian Schwifty, what are your sources telling you about the quarterbacks left on the board? Now, the Browns got 33, and because they made that trade, they got 36. You got Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shuck, all these, are these guys in the first round type of quarterbacks? They're still sitting there.
Who's left to pick after the Steelers?
So you've got, right now, the Chargers are on the clock. Then you've got Green Bay, Minnesota, Houston, the Rams, the Ravens, the Lions, Commanders, and then the Bills, Chiefs, and Eagles.
So the only team I can see maybe taking Shedeur is, and this would be a surprise, would be the Rams.
I actually said quarterback to the Rams a little bit ago. So I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
And I've been hearing there's a lot of movement at the end of the draft right now. The teams just want to trade out of the first because there's not enough talent for them to stay at spots that they're at, per se. So they'd rather drop back and collect themselves in the war room.
Interesting. Shoot, I'm sorry, guys. You get filled now. I just had a brain fire. I was going to say something.
Oh,
Yeah, no
there's some guys that probably want to trade up and do see the value and want to get that 50-year option. So that might be something that people are looking to do that have already picked or want to trade with one of these teams that are left. Do you think that the Ravens might pick Milroe, develop somebody behind?
No.
I'd be very surprised.
That'd be a non-Ravens move right there.
Especially, didn't they just sign Dallas's backup?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
Talk
Oh,
about like
I
a
Really brain farted.
You know what? I
huge
forgot
difference
about
in terms
that.
of like ability.
Yeah.
I see the Ravens as a hot take. I see the Ravens taking running back.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I see him going
And my
defense.
my
Malachi Starks.
my Milroe take there was kind of in jest to the comparison to Jackson,
Well.
because we got tons of people saying that he's Lamar Jackson when he's not.
I feel like if Shador does not get selected by the Rams, he might just be sitting there for us tomorrow.
I think all these guys could be sitting there for us tomorrow.
I think all four of them. I think that it's looking more likely than not that Dart, Shador, Shuck, and Milroe are going to be there. And we're getting to the point now where like Milroe seems like a guy, like if people aren't falling for the underwear Olympics stuff, we might not need to take him in the second. He might just keep falling.
I didn't think that was going to happen, but there's a chance.
You know what I mean?
There's a
Like
lot
he
of-
just might keep falling. Could
Yeah.
we get him in the third? Could we get him in the fourth?
So my poll that I made for you guys is actually could be really right on, to be honest. What I made earlier today, that all those guys could be sitting there. Who do you select at 33 then?
Who do you select at 33 then?
Josh Connolly Jr.
What's going on here?
offensive tackle out of Oregon.
No face. No
I have to
case.
know who
Yeah, bro.
who is no face, no case.
This guy
is
is
he
legendary.
is he a dog pack member? I feel like he is. He mentioned something about the. I don't know who it is, but that is an
Jesus.
excellent response.
We can't even read that. We can, but
Yeah, I won't. I think we can leave that one in the
okay.
chat.
But just so you know, no face, no case. Well done, my friend.
Sorry,
But-
bro. You all was hating on my Jags. How you like? When were we hating on your Jags?
Oh man, because he's saying how you like those pancakes. That was Seattle. That part was that.
Well, and we didn't
When
hate
draft
on
day?
you. You got Travis Hunter,
And
which
we
is
got
cool
your
for
first
you.
round pick next
We
year.
got your first round pick. We got your second round pick. Like
You guys aren't picking again for a while.
yes, we fleeced you. Have fun with Trevor Lawrence.
The can't miss quarterback
Yes.
prospect, right?
So it's okay. We don't feel bad about the Jaguars. That's not what has us upset about the draft at all. I actually loved the move. I was perfectly willing to give up Travis Hunter if we needed to take Genty there.
Yeah.
Have the Chargers put their pick in yet?
They did.
They got
Okay.
Hampton.
The second running back is off the board, and it is, guesses?
Marion Hampton.
Mario Hampton.
Marion Hampton. Yep.
I'm perfectly fine with that. There's two dudes that I want,
Yeah.
and
that
they're
wasn't
both
one of
still
them.
available. Are any of these other teams looking running back? Maybe Vikings.
I don't know.
Hey, you want to keep them together? Just use your two second rounders now. Just
The only other
Well,
one
in
I could see
backfield.
would be I've heard maybe Travion Henderson to the Chiefs, which would be scary.
that would make sense too.
Yeah, Pacheco's so good for them though. He's like
is, but he's not-
like the finesse to their or the brute to their.
That's what they
finesse.
need, though. They need a finesse.
They do, and honestly, the Chiefs need they need a lot. I heard a hot take that said from who's the dude who does the herd with Colin, Jason McIntyre, and he said Chiefs won't make the playoffs next year.
Wow, that's a hot take.
Yeah.
That's a hot take, but I understand where he's coming from. Like if you look at their roster, it's just not that great. You're gonna have Rasheed
Dude.
Rice coming back off of terrible injury. Travis Hunter's 100, or Travis Kelsey's 150 years old. You could tell last year he was getting old. Pacheco's coming off of an ankle injury. I mean, like they got a sturdy defense, and they get a lot of favorable calls, and that's
That's
about it. Their
And
offense,
luck.
ever since they lost Tyreek Hill, their offense has not been that like explosive like what it was for Pat Mahomes' first 2 years over there, 3 years. It's been close games, make the smart plays, win with defense, let other teams beat you, get a good call here and there, and we win a bunch of games. but they've been far from like an explosive offense the last few seasons. They need weapons in a bad way.
No, the defense carried them big time. And Mahomes.
Chargers have a scary running back room now.
So who's their other guy? They got Hampton and who else?
Kamani Vidal. They don't have anybody else.
They have Najee Harris.
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot about
that.
Najee. Oh, interesting. That's kind of two similar.
Nice job, Ian.
That's right.
Well done, my friend.
That's like right in their wheelhouse, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm I would have tried to get a wide receiver. Like if I was them, I would have been in play for Ibuka. Like Justin Herbert's a really good quarterback.
And they might have been, but he's gone.
Yeah. I would have tried to make sure I grabbed him, which they still might grab one of these guys later.
The second round's going to be chock full of wide receivers, I think.
Green Bay going to pick another weapon. We're on the very.
This is where like you could see like a Matthew Golden go.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or Luther Burden, one of these fringe first round receivers.
Because Green Bay's here for picking weapons, and we're here picking weapons.
They need to. I feel like their wide receiver room is full of like solid guys, but they don't have that alpha.
Ian, I'm sorry, buddy. What do you got? We keep cutting you off.
Per my sources, the Packers are getting trade calls.
Oh, who? That's got to be for. Well, let's see what's gone off the board already. There's defensive tackle. There's been a run, so maybe a team wants to come up and get one of those guys.
So your best available players right now are Malachi Starks, Mike Green, Jahad Campbell, Will Johnson, Luther Burden, Donovan Ezriku, Josh Simmons, and James Pierce, Matthew Golden. You still have the number 1 safety, the number 2 edge, the number 1 linebacker, the number 3 corner, the number 2 wide receiver, according to PFF, the number 3 edge, the number 3 tackle. So you still got a ton of guys who are top 3 at their position rank left.
Yep.
You still got then there's obviously still the Ohio State running backs. Maybe they're not going to go as early as we thought. Obviously, all the quarterbacks. This is where it gets really interesting because a lot of these teams, I feel like now these are the teams that have offensive needs. But you're also in the spot where are these guys not seen as first round picks?
Right.
But if nobody sees them as first round picks, good luck getting anybody to trade up into the first round. if you don't want to spend your 1 pick on them, nobody wants to spend multiple picks to come up and get them. You know what I mean? So this is where it gets interesting.
Per Pro Football Talk, it says if the ESPN draft day predictor had Shedeur Sanders at a 96% shot at going in the first 21 picks, did lightning strike, or is it perhaps the predictor broken?
I was barely listening because I was reading.
I feel like he tried to deliver that one. I'm sorry, Ian.
Is broken.
I was just reading Kyle's stuffs over here. We just got Champ Bailey and Justin Jefferson.
We got a Jaguars fan in the chat going.
Imagine being a Jaguars fan and talking crap
in a Cleveland Browns podcast.
In a Cleveland Browns podcast.
It's about as pathetic as a Ravens fan being here. Where are you, Aaron?
At least the Ravens are good.
That's true.
The Jaguars are as big of a dumpster fire as we are.
Yeah, he kind of forgets they were picking 5th. With Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Eagles might be moving up.
Yeah, really? I can see them coming up to get like a defensive guy. They just love stocking. I mean, their offense is already legit.
What Georgia defensive players are available? That's who
they just cleared out.
Who the Eagles are going to come up to get.
Malachi Starks.
Oh
yeah,
they'll get a safety.
They cleaned out their backfield. Yeah, they cleaned up their defensive backfield. Cleaned out their defensive backfield.
Yeah, that could be it. Or they come up and get another cornerback. Maybe they get Will Johnson.
Eagles don't have a pick. What until
32?
32 and then 64.
Oh,
they're at the tail end, obviously, because they won the Super Bowl. They got a trophy. Yeah, they got rings. So
go Browns.
Well, maybe we get Ian out of here and we take a break or last break before the night because we'll ride out these last few picks.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
I need to move.
Ian, appreciate you, man.
Love you, dog.
Of course, guys.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
I'll see you tomorrow.
We'll be drinking some beers. Let's get her done.
Brother.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys, we appreciate you being here, riding through with us through. This is the tough part.
This is the home stretch. Are we trading back in?
Yes.
Or is it just going to be?
We'll be so pissed if we don't.
We're the only team that traded so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Yeah, and we do. Whatever, we're going to break. Everybody on X, everybody on YouTube, Facebook, stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. We'll be with you till the end of the first round.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is brought to you by Danger Coffee. Browns fans, we talk about how Danger Coffee is made free from mold toxins that are in 45% of the world's coffee, but that's not all that Danger Coffee has to offer. Mineral and nutrient deficiencies are a big deal. They make you feel sick, tired, stressed, and they can give you brain fog. These deficiencies negatively affect your immune system, your digestion, sleep, metabolism. Have you ever wondered why you get an initial burst from your coffee, but then you get that little crash not long after? Danger Coffee's patent-pending process remineralizes your body with more than 50 trace minerals and electrolytes, leaving you more energized, engaged, powerful. These micronutrients enter the cells to boost performance. They bind to toxins to provide detoxification support. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line, guys, is minerals matter, and most of us really don't get enough of them on a daily basis. Danger Coffee delivers micronutrients, plus it gives you access to the minerals you already have. Head to dangercoffee.com, use our code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 10% off your order, and that code can be used over and over, so you get 10% off every order you make using code DAWGS. It's time to start every day off with a cup of coffee that gets you going and actually keeps you going. dangercoffee.com, code DAWGS.
This season, a new hot deal has arrived at Metro. $25 a line for 4 lines with all the data you need and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. Getting Metro's best deals is easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Get a new number or keep your own. It's up to you. That's 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 free phones. Visit a store or go online today. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
When you join Metro Plus Tax, for a limited time and subject to change. Max 1 offer per account.
You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who have chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.